Hello, here is the Hebrew of the week. I'm kind of wandering through the Psalms, something from each chapter, each Psalm, each week on average. So today I picked Psalm 6, 4, and 5 in the Septuagint. LXX is the Greek for the Greek translation of the Old Testament. There were more than one, of course, but we refer to them in general as the Septuagint. The versification is different in the Greek. So these are verses 5 and 6 in the Septuagint. Probably because the heading is given a verse as well. But Psalm 6, 4, and 5 in your English Bible and in the Hebrew Bible. All right, so let me go ahead and read this. Shuvah Yahweh, or Adonai, if you don't say Yahweh for reverence. Shuvah Yahweh, Kalazah Nafshi, Hoshi Eni, Lama'an Kashdeka. All right, so this is verse 4. Shuvah, turn, return, Yahweh, return. This is, I believe, an imperative. And the kamatz hey kind of sometimes appears with imperatives. So that's what I'm taking that kamatz hey to be. Turn, return, Yahweh, come back, come back. The psalmist is in trouble and wants help. Turn back, return, Yahweh. Kalazah, deliver, also an imperative with that kamatz hey on the end. This is a piel or a D stem because it has a doubled second radical of the three main radicals, chet, lamed, and tzadeh. Okay, so turn, Yahweh, deliver, nafshi, my life. Parallelism, right? Say it again. Synonymous parallelism is the way of Hebrew poetry. Turn, Yahweh, deliver my life. Similar meaning in each case. Now, nafshi, the King James would have translated deliver my soul. But nephesh in the Old Testament is not a detachable soul, cut on the dotted line and give it back to God. The Old Testament, by and large, has no concept of a detachable soul. There is talk of spirit, but that's the life breath of God primarily in the Old Testament. It's very common for people to read a later psychology into the Old Testament text. But the Old Testament text, if we read it inductively and let it tell us what it means, the nephesh, the soul in the Old Testament, is not a conscious, personal part of us that detaches little space pod out of our pituitary gland, that leaves at death. Nephesh is life. It is the whole being. The sea creatures in Genesis 1 are nephesh kaya, living souls, but they're not souls like we think of souls. So in the end, we just probably shouldn't even translate it as soul. I translated deliver my life. The psalmist wants to live. I want to live. The psalmist doesn't want to die. So he's praying to, or she, it could be, I suppose it's a he probably. Turn, Yahweh, deliver my life. Okay, that's verse 4. Verse 5. Hoshi-e-ni, cause me to be saved. I love this about Hebrew. So this is yasha, to save. Yod, shin, ayin are the three basic consonants. However, it's a hiphil or an H stem, the causative stem. That's where I got the cause from. The ni is me. So cause me to be saved. So it's a H causative. It is, I suppose it's second masculine singular command, probably an imperative, I'm guessing. Cause me to be saved. Same vein as what we said. Deliver me, deliver my life. Turn, Yahweh, cause me to be saved. But this is here, rather than synonymous, it's synthetic. It goes on to give a reason why. Actually, this is all verse 4. I'm sorry, verse 5 is coming. Because of lama'an, this is kind of a preposition, la, to, with ma'an. So because of kashdeka, your loving kindness, because of your faithfulness, because of your tender mercies, because of your kesed is a deeply rich word. And I was running out of space, so I didn't pick one. I didn't pick loving kindness or loving faithfulness or covenant faithfulness if you're NT Wright. That's probably a little stuffing a little bit too much into it. There's no talk of the covenant here. So that's overloading the word. In this instance, I think it's because of your loving kindness, because of your tender mercies, because of your graciousness. It's a rich, rich identifier of God. Okay. And now we're going to have in verse 5 more substantiation of this. Ki ein ba mavet zik reka bish ol mi yode lock. Okay, that was a little rough. Let me try it again. Ki ein ba mavet zik reka bish ol mi yode lock. Okay, for ein, there is not, for there is not bamavet, in the death. So ba is in. The patak doubling suggests that it has the word the smashed in there. Hey patak doubling is the way you add a the to a Hebrew word, although if you have a preposition, the hey gets popped out and goes away. So in the death, mavet. Some of you wonder why I pronounce the vavs as v. Probably in the original Hebrew, it was more wa. I don't know. I learned it. It's the way I learned it, a more modern pronunciation. So for there is not in the death, zikreka, your remembrance. Again, this is a little surprising, maybe, if you haven't studied the Old Testament much. But the Old Testament does not really have any sense of a conscious, meaningful, personal afterlife. Pretty much Daniel 12, 2 and 3 is the clearest indication of a belief in resurrection. Most of the Old Testament and the poetic books especially don't seem to have any, the lights haven't gone on with regard to the afterlife. If you're a Christian, of course, the New Testament gives us a definitive answer on afterlife. But it seems like the psalmist doesn't understand that. Maybe you could come up with some ingenious way to explain it in another way. I just like to let it say what it said. I think if we respect the text, we'll let it say what it seems to say and not try to fiddle with it because our theology, my theology doesn't like that. Well, theology is step 2. Step 1 is exegesis, where we try to let the text say what it says. And this text seemed, the psalmist, and this isn't alone, Psalm 30, there are other, Job, Ecclesiastes, just don't seem to understand that there is life after death. As a Christian, I believe there is. New Testament's very clear on this, but the psalmist doesn't, this psalmist at least doesn't seem to know it. There were more than one psalmist, of course, because that's what that tells us. But anyway, in the death, there is not your remembrance. In Sheol, so ba is in, and Sheol is Sheol. Sheol, again, in the Old Testament, Sheol is not Gehenna. Gehenna is not an Old Testament concept. The word Gehenna does not appear in the Old Testament. Gehenna hell, fiery hell, lake of fire hell, that's a New Testament concept that shows the impact of Jewish apocalyptic literature, the impact of intertestamental literature. It's in the Intertestament that the concept of hell really rises. You know, I'm a Orthodox Christian. I believe in hell, but I don't believe in hell of that sort from the Old Testament. It's from the New Testament, especially Matthew. And Matthew and Revelation, of course, has a lake of fire. But the Old Testament has no concept of afterlife punishment, except for Daniel 12, 2, which talks about some rising to everlasting contempt. That's about the only place in the Old Testament where there's any sense of punishment after death. In fact, in a lot of the Old Testament, death is the punishment. Achan's punishment is death. Job's wife, for example, Job's wife is, I think she doesn't know what she's talking about, but she's not the, I used to think, well, why would you tell him to curse God and die? You're basically telling him that you want him to go to hell. But Job's wife doesn't know about hell. She's in her own kind of way trying to say, she's a Jack Kevorkian. She's the Jack Kevorkian of the Old Testament, Job's wife. She's basically saying, why don't you curse God? He'll fry you. It'll all be over. So it's kind of a mercy killing. It's a death by God is what she's advocating to Job. I'm not saying that she's right. She's obviously not, but she doesn't understand that there's an afterlife. And so Sheol is merely the realm of the dead in Hebrew thought. And of course, the New Testament Greek word Hades, which of course is very similar in the Greek world, Greek culture. Hades is also a realm of the dead, not a place of torment or punishment. If you read the Odyssey, the underworld, the realm of the dead is a mindless place where they wander around. They're shadows. The prophet Tiresias, Odysseus has to give him blood so that he can think again. He has to have some embodiment of some kind, blood in that case, to be able to talk. Okay, so in Sheol, me, who, by the way, Hebrew is a language where who is he is she, and me is who, and dog is fish, the sound. So me means who. Yodeh will praise. This is an imperfect. The word is yada, yod, dalet, hey. You'll notice that when you put a performative on a first yod, we saw this up here. This is a first yod. And sometimes it becomes a vav when you a holem vav when you take a first yod. It's called a weak verb, first weak verb. When you have a first yod and we put a performative like hey or yod on it, sometimes it becomes a holem vav. Okay, who will praise to you? Lach. Lamed is the preposition to, and k is you. Normally, lach would be second feminine singular, but in this case, I think it's second masculine singular, and it's just the way it works in this particular ending part of the verse. All right, so there you have it. Turn, Yahweh, deliver my life. Cause me to be saved because of your loving kindness. For there is not in death your remembrance. In Sheol, who will praise you? And someone asked that for me to read the Hebrew, so I'm going to try one more time to see if I can get the Hebrew out of my brain in pronunciation. Shuvah, Yahweh, kalazah nafshi, hoshi eni lama'an kasdeka, ki'ain bamavet zikreka bishol mi yodeh lach. Okay, I tried. This has been the Hebrew of the week.